So where do we go? Arenvald's adventure. Yes! I love that guy. Not as a husbando, just so you know, BB10. I don't like him in a husbando sense, because he is kind of young and impressionable, and, you know, but, I just really like his character. He's just such a nice guy. Okay. Oh, we gotta get over here. Oh yeah, did you see? I have, it's hard to see here. I have a, chair mount. I have a chair mount. I just fly around on my chair. I got it out of one of the new boxes, where you can get pets and mounts and stuff. And, I kind of like it. And then I can just sit here, just chilling, and then fly around on my chair. Alright, where is he? Over here. It's great fun. Great fun. Alright. Alright, Lise. Lise seems troubled.
Come to see how we're getting on? We've made good progress since we took back Alamigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address. Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here. Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
Democracy, clearly.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future.
Probably.
But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches. The Reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ah, there you are. I've been searching all over for you. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me?
I guess so. Alright. Does it fly higher? Yes, it does. You can't fly in Rhalgr's Reach, so that's why it was just kind of hovering a little bit.
I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure?
Well, of course.
After all, we were adventurers before we were scions, were we not? After routing the Imperials and liberating Alamigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots? So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
Well, twist my arm, why don't you? I feel like they messed with the sound on this. I know they did something to the sound. I do have a spot of tea in my perfect tea time coffee mug or teacup. All right, let me get this sound. I just feel like the sound needs to be up a little bit more. Maybe do up to like 90. There we go. I know they were doing some stuff to the sound, so it just seems a little low to me. So hopefully that fixes it. No, what do you mean no ugly? But it says in perfect tea time, and it says impeccable conversations. 4. So excited, I love this cup. Right then, let's go and find Mr. Livier. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetheryte, and we'll be along shortly. See you there. Alright. Alright, let's see. Here, I think we get a dungeon pretty quick. So, which is good. Greetings, Rizlan. It would seem we are to accompany Arenvald on some manner of escapade. Have you any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Why, I have no idea. Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Alamigo was still a monarchy, and Theodric sat the throne. A uniquely brutal despot, by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Ralger's Reach being burned to the ground. In the latter years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it's said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. Ah, I believe I see the direction our adventure is to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty. You assume correctly. And would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others must surely have gone in search for your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Alamigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But even after scouring every room from dawn till dusk, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remains simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. Well, what self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine the three of us, delving into the decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. Alright! We're doing this. We're doing this. Ooh, I have learned the emote box. Let's do that. There we go. Oh, now check this out. I got it. Yes, yes. Yeah, I do. Alright. If anyone can find that treasure, it's us. But even if we don't, the adventure will be reward enough, I reckon. The news of Doma and Alamigo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the imperial province of Dalmasca has already risen up in rebellion, which means the Garleans must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Arenvald, have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere, so we'll probably need to, ask around. Would that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied archivists and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you will be looking for people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Arenvald, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks while Srizlin makes the rounds in the Alamegan quarter. Ha! And here I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gilbard's Gate. Frickin' Alphino, just take it over. Taking right over. Alright, so back to the Alamegan quarter. Right. Yeah, the sound is right. I think they just messed with the sound settings. Oh, this little creature? It's a little angel. Angel of Mercy. I got her off of the store. She's cute. Alright. Who are we talking to? Middle-aged Highlander. In the palace? No, not me, lass. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up on the divine audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Suffice it to say that I stayed as far from the palace as possible. Huh. Mad King, you say? Oh, see? Look it. I'm flying on my chair. There you go. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see his royal majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he'd ordered. And after a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow, and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Very interesting. Retired Rogadin. Aye, I served at the pleasure of King Theodric, and I lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life, and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which, of course, we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If you're hell's bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Arenvald. He was the king's head scribe. Old Arenvald, you say? Hold on, I gotta hold this in the right place. Alright. I don't like it when my box is not in the default position. It's an OCD thing with me. It just drives me crazy. Alright. And there's no way to lock the placement either. It drives me crazy. Yes, I'm old Arenvald. What do you want with me? You would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories. Yet if Alamigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodric's paranoia and the public executions of his kinsmen. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is a kindness that the monarchy ended with him. Dude, this guy was nuts. Well, I mean, he was Mad King, but... Oh, Judah? Yes, totally. I get very OCD about certain things. And that's one of them. Alright. Oh yes, it's actually pretty quick into quick here. Ah, excellent timing as ever. We have but this moment returned from our own intelligence gathering efforts. Really? Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures, and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself, but I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Rislin? Were your investigations any more fruitful? Turned into monsters? What can he mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alighieri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison. He said naught of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could this scribe fellow have been spinning her a yarn, do you think? Did you believe him, Rislin? Well, his fear seemed genuine. He was afraid. That does lend credence to the tale, though I am not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Arenvald's anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden. But ere I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. Arenvald, you spoke of light-hearted adventure. I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? It wasn't all pretense, I swear it. But you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Alamegan mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pure-blood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage, and took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Alamigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring. That road led me into the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Arenvald, and I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Rislin, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arenvald's noble cause, and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? Come on. Do the fist thing, come on! Then I should be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's Trove, if you are minded to hear it. And yes, Arenvald's backstory is one of the reasons I love his character. It's so tragic, and I feel so bad, but he's such a gem despite it all, you know? He is like one of those proof that just having a bad youth and a bad upbringing doesn't mean you turn out to be bad, so. Well, out with it. What's this theory of yours? Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourned to a more suitable location. In case a rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That's not exactly the reason, but 'tis certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of XIV. Oh, somebody has a mini, what? A wind-up Amric. This dude's name is Vampiric Virus. Really? Okay. Alright. Lock-celled it is. Some of these names are hilarious. You find some hilarious names. Yeah, yes! Not turmeric. Stop it. Amric. Come now, Alphino. Don't leave us in suspense. Let's hear this theory of yours. Forgive me, 'twas not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wish to have the lock in sight while I explain things. Prior to the great flood of the 6th Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines. And this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the 5th Astral Era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war, yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of Loch-Seld. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace mentioned by Theodric's former scribe was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying they were meant to guard the Mad King's Trove? Precisely. And since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance into the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods knows how many Alamegans never found a trace of the Trove. We, however, have certain advantages which they did not enjoy. Rizlan, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the loch and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Arenvald and I will seek out an ensorcelled portal within the palace. No, there's no Nessie down there. Stop it. There are no... it's too salty. The waters are too salty for Nessie. He wouldn't be able to sink. Alright. So I think I gotta go down here. Only if you're gonna grow them up. Let's see. This looks like an entrance of some sort. Oh yeah, this definitely looks like this looks like a building. Ooh, these are towers. Here we go. Entrance. What? Alright, I gotta go back here. That's just... wrong way. There we go, destination. You discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. Here we go. Oh, I gotta... Oh. Stop it! I gotta get this door. There we go. It's possible. Was that a sprout? I don't know if that was a sprout. You come to a worn stone door, standing temptingly ajar. It would appear you have found an entrance into the subterranean ruins. Rislin, it's Alpha now. We have searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enchantments. Have you aught to report? And you believe it leads into the ruins? Excellent. Then I propose we proceed from our prospective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Oh, come on, you two. We might as well make it a race. Victory goes to the first adventurer to find the treasure. Godspeed. Alright, Arenvald. Alright, let's see. You gotta do it in the... Make sure I don't have unrestricted. That's good. Dungeon. Stormblood. Drowned City of Scala.
So no.
Huh?
No. I need level 6. That's all.
Oh, okay. I don't think he's a sprout. Oh, it's vampiric virus again! It's this guy! No, he's a level 80. He's not a sprout anymore. I wonder if we get him in our group. We might. We might get him in our group. That would be funny. Boy. Come on, I was getting really fast dungeons earlier today. Why is it taking a while? Let's see. No, I need 11th level 60 dungeon too. No, that's not gonna do it. Oh well. That in here. So I can decide if I'm gonna keep these. Turn them in so I can get boxes and maybe get pets. Wow. Oop. It's decent that. Alright. There we go. No, they just took them down for maintenance. They just took them down. And they hopefully fixed the error that was popping people out of the login queues, so that hopefully that's all fixed. There are no sprouts. No sprouts in here, you guys. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. I know, right? It makes me want to cry. But there's gonna be less sprouts in the game because they stopped selling the game because the queues were too big. And they said, well, we want our players who already bought the game and have subs to be able to play it, so we're gonna stop selling the game until the queues and the number of people in it like stabilize. Oh, he's gonna go. He's going for it. He's going for it. I can't wait until we get into the Endwalker dungeons and stuff, though. I have to admit, they are like, of like all of the bosses and stuff, I really enjoy them. They can be tough, but they're fun. They are a lot of fun. It did backfire to the point where they're not even offering the free trial right now. You can't make a free trial account anymore. So that backfired, and who could have oh, Hydro Pull. Who could have foreseen Blizzard shit in the bed the way they did? Hydro push, so we gotta go up. Don't push us back. It is a seahorsey. I know, it's kind of cute name. There we go. He's gonna keep going, isn't he? Oh yeah, he's going. At least he's using, I think he's using, he's rotating his cooldowns. Because, I can't tell you how many tanks I've been seeing who aren't rotating cooldowns, and it's making my job harder as a healer. They're just taking so much damage and they're just not even hitting the cooldown. Oh yeah, he is. boss. Somehow it got me still. That guy just wants to make it. Okay. So now I am one of these guys. Come on. Now I'm, I forget what those are called. They're like little bunnies. Oh my gosh, some are just taking damage. Stop standing and stuff. Alright, so now. I got that one. That wasn't so bad. I want, see these rugs? Look at how big they are. I want them for, like, when I killed the housing. So I want to be able to put, like, that big rug down on my floor. They have like some fantastically huge rugs. I would totally use them for my houses. I don't know why they haven't added them. Turn into ghosts so we can go over, see? So we can go over this ravine. No, not in real life, in my game! I want them for the guild housing. Yes, turn into ghosts. this boss. I hate chimeras. Hydronic, please. Where's his tail? Where's his tail? Get away, get away. And that's what happens when he raises his tail. When the eye is glowing, that means there we go. Gotcha. When you see that like red eye, it means if you're looking at him, something's bad gonna happen to you. Uh-oh. Hey, get out of the way there. Oh no, he's just... Oh, get out of the way. So you have to pay more attention to your surrounding for the bosses the further on it goes. Because not all of the stuff is telegraphed on the ground. Killing me. Now look what happened. Now I got discombobulated. And he's gonna kill me. Shit. Oh, damn it. Oh crap. Well, it was just seeing him die. I'm used to just doing that automatically. Alright. Alright. It wasn't much. It was just the boss falling on the ground. Oof. Oof.
Are you all right? Aye. Everything's still attached.
Ah, it seems both our paths led here. Very good. We spent altogether too much time fleeing fiends horrid and numerous. How fared you?
Was nothing. Who's this guy?
Much the same then. 'Twould appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Wait, is that
terrible? Aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
I don't see a mummy.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
Yes, we did it. Our path was dark, treacherous, and fair crawling with abominations. Long story short, it was a proper adventure. Arenvald and I forged ahead at the fastest pace we could manage, but I was not surprised to find you waiting for us. I suppose it serves us right for challenging the Warrior of Light. Next time we should agree on some manner of handicap. We may have lost Alphino, but think of what we found! Right, I am still reeling at the sight of that mountain of riches. What? Like how you reeled at the sight of that floating specter, you mean? You should have heard him scream, Rislin. Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that is all that matters. Alphino screamed like a little girl. Alright, I gotta go to the bathroom. So then we'll continue. Well, I'm gonna pull up the, let me pull up the MSQ list. Just to see how far we get through today. Let's see. Come on. Why is this not... Uh-oh. No, we're good. Why isn't the list popping? Oh, there we go. I thought I DC'd. I'm like, oh no. Please don't tell me I DC'd. It's not cheating. Stop it. Let's see. So there. Our next quest is the Butcher's Blood. Let's see. Okay. Well, I think we'll definitely get through the 2 patches for sure. For sure. Okay. Well, let me go to the bathroom. We'll continue. Okay. That is taken care of. And now to the Butcher's Blood. Arenvald is still grinning at Alphino's discomfort. I told you, I like Arenvald. He's a good guy. He's funny. Well, he's sweet too. All jesting aside, we must tell people the good news. And I think Lise should be the first. Seconded. There is to be a meeting of representatives from across Alamigo, so she is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out? You 3 look pleased with yourselves. What have you been up to? I'm glad you asked, Lise, and I'm pretty sure you're going to like the answer. You're joking. The Mad King's trove? I thought it was a myth. So did plenty of people, but they didn't have Rislin and Alphino in their party. The credit for finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I vote that it goes towards alleviating the suffering of Alamigo's poor. Gods, there's as much as you say. Arenvald did not exaggerate, I assure you. We could not hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I have taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Understood. I'll make sure every coin is counted for. And that goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Oh, there is one other thing. When the time comes to draw up a plan for distributing the spoils, I would ask that you consult Alphino. I don't have a head for details. I'm not educated. I see that simply handing out sacks of guild won't solve everything, but I couldn't rightly tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I'd welcome any advice you could give us, Alphino. Of course, I shall be at your disposal. Commander, we've got a problem! Deep breaths. Tell me what's happened. A mob's gathered outside headquarters, and they've started making demands. You'd best come and see for yourself.
Step back, all of you!
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're not leaving till you hand her over!
Bring her out! Bring her out!
What's going on?
Someone let slip about Fedora.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it! We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
Butcher the... Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down!
Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the street!
Aye! And my dad! That bitch has spilt enough blood to fill a lock!
We all know her crimes. She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her!
Oof.
So that's what all the fuss is about. Hearken to me, brothers and sisters of Alamigo.
Hey, who's this?
That's the Bull of Alamigo.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. That gnawing pain in your breast, it is enough to bring an old bull to his knees. But I ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live. Where were they taken? What became of them? These questions demand answers. I share your thirst for justice, for vengeance. But we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth. Now is the time that we, the people of Alamigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves, and for generations yet unborn. When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles, or one who cast them aside when tried? I say to you, it is our responsibility to give these prisoners a fair trial, that they might answer to all of Alamigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
So why isn't he ruling? Why isn't he leading all this shit?
I know you're right, I do, but I can't.
Man, I got a bit of a headache today. Freaking headache. Fordola and her schools may have aspired to be imperial citizens, but they were born Alamegan. To their countrymen, they are traitors of the worst kind. The butcher has much to answer for, but to simply drag her from her cell and slaughter her in the street? General Alden is right. Hey, Sam. After 20 years of imperial rule, 'tis no surprise that people should seek a target for all their pent-up rage and grief. I only wish I knew the solution. My thanks, Rawan. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away. 'Tis a difficult tide to stem. 'Twas that same rage which brought us to our feet, carried us to victory. And now the war is over. All the unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Aye, it's not just here. We have reports of mobs forming all over. And targeting folk known to have cooperated with the Garleans. It starts with insults most often. And then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls even thought to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace. Maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. That doesn't mean I'm not going to try. The representatives will be here soon. I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before I've even begun. Who are these representatives exactly? Oh, village elders, refugee leaders, and the like. It wouldn't be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own, so we planned a summit of sorts. We've even invited the Ananta and the Kukiran to participate. Alamigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Fordola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt its proceedings. Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nago, I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now. But where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated? Everyone who didn't resist? There would be no one left. We'd be no better than Daedric and Xenos. Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past. A moment of it anyway, during the fight. She'd done terrible things, unforgivable things, but in some ways she's a victim of the circumstances in which she was born. And that's something I can understand. Alright, speak with the prison guard when you're ready, and I'll come and join you. I want to talk to her too. I'll return to my duties then. We've barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Fordola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends. She will test you. And don't let your emotions color your judgment when she does. You have the commander's permission to enter, then? Why, yes, I do.
So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you? Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom? Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless! There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it! I killed your men. I killed my men! And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
That's a lie, and you know it! You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fedora. I see you for what you are.
Fajola, we mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
All right! Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Alamigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Gaius is a great and admirable man. What?
Filthy tin-head lovers.
What did that man call us?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who'd gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
Dang, they ratcheted up the cussing.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Fedora!
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something! My husband and daughter are in danger!
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of army.
We're citizens! We have rights!
I'm scared.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive.
Traitors! Traitors!
No, no. You knew that was coming.
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
Fadela, please! You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier? Oh, gods! What have you done to your face?
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honoring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? Can't you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time. It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
Gordola was dealt a tough hand.
So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past? And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they? Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led! The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay!
Wait, is she viewing... Wait, hold on a second. She's viewing the echo of us? What? I think she was seeing our past.
You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone. The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
Well. For those I have lost, for those I can yet save.
Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
Pot of soot black dye. Alright, hold on. No. System. I'm just gonna turn the main up all the way. Because they were doing they were having errors with system sounds, voice. Let's turn that up a little. There we go. I think that's a little better. Sorry about that. I let my emotions get the better of me. It's just that she and I are of an age where neither of us one thing or another. I can't help but feel like she's my problem to solve. The capacity to experience such visions of the past had always seemed to me to be a most desirable talent, but I see now that it is as much a burden as a blessing. I don't know that we solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. And I found something new to think about too. I don't know about you, Rislin, but the visions only come to me every now and then. From the way Fordola kept wincing, though, I get the feeling she's having them also almost all the time. That's a lot of bad memories to deal with. I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between one who was born with the echo and one who has been artificially imbued with it? Well, the immortal flames have been scouring that research facility ever since the liberation. There's a chance they might have some answers for us. General Alden's there overseeing the investigation. Let's go and pay him a visit, shall we? What horrors are we going to find in the how do you say this word? Resonatorium. Oh boy. General Alden is inside. Will you be joining him? Why, yes, I shall. talk to Raban. I want to go talk to Arenvald first. Ugh. I should burn this place to the ground and be done with it. What news? You spoke with Fordola, I take it. Yes, and as expected, she didn't say very much, but it wasn't a total waste of time. Arenvald noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might be having visions almost constantly, which is not how the Echo normally works. Have you found anything here which might explain why it's so different for her? We've been hard-pressed just to organize the research materials, let alone study them. To be frank, I'd welcome the science expert assistance if you have time to lend a hand. Add detect pod. Albino says. For a race with no innate capacity to manipulate ether, the Garleans have conducted some exceedingly elaborate etheric experiments. All the pods are destined to drain the ether of the occupant. Save that one right there. Unlike the others, the interior has been fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. The device in which Kryl was held seems even more ominous now you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked Supply Subject, while this one bears the label Master Subject. The Ironworks received a request from the Alliance to analyze these devices, and I've been recording everything of interest. Did you notice the labeling? All the pods are designed to drain the ether of the occupant. Save that one right there. Unlike the others, the interior has been fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. Okay, you just told me that. Well, whatever, I talked to you anyways. So many bodies. Every one of them a victim of these experiments. Few show any signs of external injury. From what we've been able to determine, they perished from forcible ether extraction. Such a miserable way to die. So they're draining them of ether, huh? I know little and less of science, so any light you can shed on this facility's operations would be much appreciated. Rizlin, shall we start with you? Well, yes, go ahead. Be my guest. Taken in combination with the testimonies of Kryl and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with ether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As for the master subject, in this case Kryl, the patterns of her etheric activity would provide the model upon which they would artificially engineer the candidate's aura. In other words, they were trying to recreate Kryl's echo? I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Kryl is possessed of an unrivaled ability to hear the whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that the procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fordola. The soldiers who guard Fordola, many of them lost friends and family to the skulls. And there's a sentry at her door night and day. If she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past. But you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it'd do to you. You'd never be the same again. Indeed, as you may recall, Assail was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Freysfelger's past. Fordola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed. Sounds to me like a kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer on for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. If the results of these experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, there will be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, to an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these gods-forsaken procedures. And Fordola remains our best source of information. She'll not be getting her wish. Not yet. Right. Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned. I understand. Thank you, General. Garlic bowl. We should leave the flames to go to it. Let's go. Oh, just you wait. Just you wait, garlic mold. The forcible extraction of ether from a living subject is invariably fatal. How many died that Fordola might gain her new abilities? I've never known why I was given the echo. This makes me want to put it to good use. I go looking for answers about the echo and end up getting schooled by Ralban. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Alden is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lise. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced that mob to give up and go home. It makes me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn. I wonder what he'll do when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland. After going to the trouble of winning it back, might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary which countless refugees now face, to continue the life they built in Ul'dah, or start again in the land of their birth. Rislin, a moment. Oh, Pippin. I am newly returned from Ul'dah with a message from the Sultana. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Well, I must away and attend to other business. Until next time, my friends. Yes, the Sultana! We haven't seen her in a while. An audience with the Sultana. Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Alphino. But not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him, Rislin. Yeah, but me and the Sultana, we're buds. We're friends. It's fine. Well, the question of how to put the Mad King's treasures to good use shows no sign of answering itself. Shall we be about it, Arenvald? I'm at your beck and call. And I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down into the ruins and then start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, send Nanamo my regards, Rislin. And ours too, if you please. We shall see you on your return. Speak with Bartholomew and Uba. Alright. Alright, so we need to go to, I think, well, actually, Alchemist Guild, the Chamber of Roll. We haven't been to Ul'dah in a while, huh? It has been a while. no, it's Santa. You are expected, my lady. Please proceed. Yes.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy. The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel.
Oh boy.
I speak of Rauban and his future. All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Uldar home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Uldar or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a Sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears.
So does this mean she's given up on, like, you know, abdicating the throne and all that? Or did...
Might I have your company for a brief adventure? Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Yeah, we're going on an adventure. Going on an adventure with the Sultana. Alright. Now. The Adventurers Guild. Well, it was kind of a silly idea. That was just going to lead to societal unrest. I'm glad she's changed your mind on that. Alright. With yes. Adventuring Popoto. Perchance you remember Lilira, the merchant's daughter. This is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papa Shan would accompany me, but for this particular outing I need an advisor, not a Mondale. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life, in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now, let us be on our way. Our destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the gates of Nald. Alright. So, you're going to Stone's Throw. Yeah, undercover. She needs to go out among the people. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanaran's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is, and unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Uldar. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity. But the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. Well, your hands have been tied, Your Grace. Yes, my authority is limited, and that is an obstacle I must work to overcome. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. Unholy air, you say? Is that a bar? I don't know what that is. Sultana's. So I think this whole patch is basically cleaning up a lot of the Alamigo stuff. Which is fine. I mean, it's wrapping up the storyline and stuff. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanalan, when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Rauban once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' death were orchestrated by the monitorists, we could only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of the citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivety. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monitorist's damnable games. Forgive me my outburst. You are one of the few people to whom I can freely speak my mind. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. So she has given up that idea. Good. And she realized that she was naive for even considering it. Whew. Yo-Yo Frito? No, we're not gonna execute Yo-Yo Frito. He did help us out in the Far East a little bit. He did. As much as it pains me to admit. Oh my god. Do you hear her? Oh my god, Anixia's going nuts. I know. Well, we'll see. Anixia! What? Why are you crying like that, baby? I don't see your mouth. I don't see your mouth. Now, imagine waking up to that at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Hearing that, like in your bedroom. It's twice as loud. You don't have the headset on. Alright. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signings and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign, and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from my ignominious chapter in my life, for it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Rauban. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice, and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Rauban to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Rauban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did. And when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Rauban is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the syndicate. And then I had my blade. Well, I guess. Damn. Even see what that thing is.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Sham. Rauban!
Your Grace, I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Uldar, and so, as tradition dictates, Rauban Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Uldar!
Aww! So adorable. Words cannot express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Sean's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Rauban, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Arzaneth Ossuary. I don't even know where that is. The Arzaneth Ossuary. Thaumaturge's Guild. Alright. When the calamity threatened, Rauban led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louisoix would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting the shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I seek the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Rizlan. With Alamigo now freed from imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already, many displaced Alamegans seek to begin the long trek home. And as you well know, our artisan school shall be waiting to accept any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time, the Ul'dah Treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. Oh boy. Why not seek the advice of one who employs refugees? Maybe? A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the syndicate, and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? Godbert? Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. You didn't know that? Godbert Manderville actually is the owner and proprietor of the Gold Saucer. Yes, he is. And he's also Saint Naimea. Yes, he is a member of the syndicate because he's super rich. Where's the landing? Gatekeeper. What? Ugh! I don't know where it is. Tablet. Coliseum. Oh, airship landing. There we go. If only. I have ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Well, it is pretty exciting. And there we go. I might as well check my my mini cacti while I'm here. Yes, yes. Let's see. Mini cacti pot. Alright, let's see. Oh. Dang it. Let's see. Nope. Let's see here. Nope. It's gambling, but you always win something. Always win something. Alright, where is the Sultana? Oh, she's right here. I had heard descriptions of its splendor, Yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. Gaudy temptations, you say? Wonder Square West. Wait, how do I get in there? Oh, it must be upstairs. I did not. I was just trying to find her. Ooh, that's all for some Gil. Look at him in all his splendor. All his splendor. Ah, yes. Okay. I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit while we wait his coming? His coming. Oh yeah, well, before I talk to her, that's true. My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting. No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice. When my son's good friend and the Sultana herself come calling, there is no more important engagement. Yeah, he is wearing pants. Well, I mean, he is at work. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalan. You are aware, I am sure, that many of Alamigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might best be distributed? The usual circumstances of our meeting, and your Grace's choice of companion would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is, stop. Taxing Ulda's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. You oppose my proposition? Most emphatically. I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Ulda in this arrangement? Profit? After all you have done for Garabania's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune. Forgive me, Your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Ulda's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill. Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Ulda. Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamigans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. You have given me much to ponder, Lord Vanderfell. I thank you for your candor. Very, very interesting. Profit. Thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lessons learned and press on. Rislin, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Well, I do know of Lolorito. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Aldener Trading Company. But if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure of a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetherite in Ulda. A fair journey to you, Rislin, and a swift one, if you please. Great, I've got to go talk to Hancock now. Ugh. Yeah, I know, that guy. Alright, we've got to go to the Ruby Bazaar. And you know who Hancock works for, right? You know who he works for. Greetings, Arenvald. Will you be entering the Ruby Bazaar offices? Why, yes, I will. Rislin, to what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business? I beg your pardon? Her Grace, the Sultana, would have my opinion on how best to invest the wealth of Ulda. My dear Rislin, I have you to thank for this. Recognition, I am sure. And I am flattered that you came to me. Truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garderobe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say, at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanor. The Waking Sands would seem a suitably neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, Rislin, and may your dealings prove fruitful. You know, I think Hancock seems kind of sleazy. He's like slimy. You know, a slimy merchant. You will not find a shrewder merchant than Chairman Lolorito. Would that I could be present to witness the back and forth of your coming negotiations. Oh boy. Yo-Yo Frito. Welcome back, Rislin. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? Lolorito? And you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monitorists at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ulda effectively. Very well. I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. Oof. Oof. Another slimy merchant. Freaking monitorists. Oh hey, we're already here. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I have heard many tales, but never had occasion to visit. To work, then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves. Will we dip them in oil? I don't know. Oh, here we go.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Uh-huh. Slimy.
You have made your point. 'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira? Hmm?
You slimy bastard. He's got cold eyes.
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I'm glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I'm most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate.
Teleji Adeleji? That bastard.
But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more.
Television at a television. Well, you know.
To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar.
Oh.
Ha! I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Who was deep fried? No, television Adelevision was sliced and diced. I'm guessing the Saltery.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Saltery and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and And in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gil.
Oh, he's seeing dollar signs. He's seeing gil signs.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenard Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders, just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
All right. I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Rislin. I could not have done it without you. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Rislin, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiation to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. Alright. Time to open up the Psaltery. Okay, so... Welcome back, Rislin. How was your audience with the Sultana? In your absence, I have kept busy cataloging the riches of the Mad King's trove and calculating its worth in gil. I have some way to go, but the figure is already quite staggering. Oh, greetings, Rislin. I'm actually in the middle of reporting to the commander here, so... Oh, sorry for interrupting you there, Whiskar. How rude. Rislin, you're back. What an animal. Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So, Arenvald says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Psaltery does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he's the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, please, assuming the interim government elects to accept Ul'dah's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphino, it's like Kugani never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Psaltery's residents. Oscar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Rislin? I might need you to fill in the details. And I shall come along as well, should Watt wish it. God, Watt wish. I feel like it's a tongue twister. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Oh, husband came back down. I just looked over and saw he was AFK, but I didn't have to do anything.
Sometimes work.
I did it before. I did it earlier.
Yeah. Stupid work disrupted my day.
I'm leaving the business of dividing up the treasure to those who know about such things. I'm not proud to admit it, but every time I see a column of numbers, my eyes glaze over. One of these days, I'll have to ask Alphino to explain it all to me. I'll have to give Nanamo my thanks next time we meet. With this and everything else that's been happening, it really feels like things are gathering pace around here. I think next patch is where my husbando, my other husbando, with my harem shows up. Oh, I think it's next patch. Oh boy. I think it might be. Maybe? No. I don't know. But it's exciting stuff. I can't wait till you see him. I can't wait till you see him. BB10. Don't give me that face. Yeah, I have a harem of husbandos. Did you not know this? This game is filled with husbandos. I think even more than waifus. My husband, like real husband, is always lamenting how there's not enough waifus in this game. Alright. Let's go and see Granddad. He's going to want to hear this. Ideally, one would want Alamigo's stake to match Ulda's guild for guild, in combination with a cast iron contract that should serve to prevent Lilorito from making off with all the profits. You would think. What manner of mischief brings you young'uns to old Watt this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Salt Tree, Granddad. Rislin, tell them about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was, but it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. King used to send soldiers and call the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Granddad. We'll take care of all that. Commander Hex has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the block if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Riskar, my lad. Truly I would. So, does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, aye, mostly to kill Imperials. Some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Rislin? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Let's not waste any time, then. I'll see you by the lock. Okay, how did the music get so loud? Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting. Alright, I gotta fix this. I swear. It's like some songs are way more bombastic than others. I love this chair. It's one of my favorite new mounts. I just love it. Alright. Right then, Rislin. I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do, and we'll see how well I get on. He was very enthusiastic. Search your surroundings for yabbies. The way you move, you may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Blah blah blah. Target yabby inspected. All right, we gotta find some yabbies. I don't think that's a yabby. What the heck am I looking for? Oh, it's weak point. Let's see. I don't see no weak point. Is that belly? Its tail? Its butt? No. Maybe it's here. I don't see anything on its soft underbelly. Let's go for its bum. Oh. Tail? This is annoying. Maybe its eye. Let's get its eye. Chewie, stop it. Chewie, get down. It's not. This is... I don't know where the hell its vulnerability is. I want to try its eye. Nope. He's being a butt. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's late. This is the worst quest ever. That's it. Freaking Yabby. What is this? Let's see. Oh. Discover the Yabby's weak point. I don't know how to freaking... It just says discover the Yabby's weak point. I gotta look this up. I don't care if it's cheating. Yabby's weak point. Alright, let's see here. You're looking at a part of its body that might be considered a weak point. Try the underside of its head. Oh, its jaw is the weak point. Yeah. Alright. Oh my god, that was such a pain in the... That was so dumb. Why would you not... Whatever. Alright, we got the weak point. It took way longer than it should have. Yabby's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Ah, looks like you found a Yabby. They say hidden or there are shells like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Well, let's aim for the soft underside of the head. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then. Wish me luck. Uh-oh. Whiskar, you better not die. Huh. Short work. Thanks, Rislin. I did just as you told me, and the Wavekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. Yep. What's he looking at now? think I can handle the Yabbies now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? Oh boy. Phobad. Ooh, his eye. Phobad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the salt golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ugh. Phobad. How do I defeat one of those? I like how it's just keep hitting it really, really hard. No, destroy the core within its brow. Inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes then. It's a flattened Phobad. Look at it. Its face looks smushed. He looks smushed. It's not easy fighting with the Liberator of Alamigo, watching your every move, but I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Rislin. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the Saltery before Granddad starts to worry. I've been snipped into pieces and fed to a Yabby's hatchling. Yeah. Normal card, Bidog card. I see you've returned in one piece. You dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought them myself, after a bit of instruction from Rislin here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. Fine young man you become, Whisker. Fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folk over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Seems Whisker has the Saltery's security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Alden! Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak with you at the earliest convenience. Feel obliged to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dah. You should go. General Alden asked that you wait for him by the main gate at the Alamigan Quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well. Wonder what's going on now. Chewie's got an appointment to have his butt looked at and to get sticked with needles. Though I don't know what they're gonna do. Last time he got his rabies vaccine, he had a bad reaction to it. So I don't know if they're gonna give him it to him again. We'll see. Makes me worry, my boo-boo.
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Those bastards.
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Well, let me kill him. I'm just gonna... their lives would be forfeit. Totally. And I volunteer as executioner. No, we gotta be nice. Execution is not the answer.
You would spare these animals? Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard.
Oh, Rowan's gonna fucking kill him. You don't care.
Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me. I bear a share of the blame for Ilberd's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't. But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father...
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanaimo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
Yeah, you'll be coming back. Nanamo's like, if you love someone, you set them free. And she's going to set Rauban free. I was just on my way to the Sultry. It's lucky I saw you. Arenvald seems flustered. Something is amiss. That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled. Arenvald, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta has arrived at the main gates. I don't mean the Vera. These are Kalyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. I'm insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lisa's trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all of the native beast tribes. We assumed the Kalyana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see it for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Rizlan, you've dealt with these Kalyana before. I'd have you by my side. Oof. Oof. Something has me worried, you guys. I'm a little worried. Yes, snacks. The snacks. Where are we going? Here. The blissful arrival. Rizlan, Raupan. Gods, it's good to see you. Ah, the Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Garabania home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. Is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will all be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Whew. I don't like the sounds of this, you guys. Why do I have the feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? At the mercy of tomatoes all the time. Turning the Kalyana away now would have made a mockery of Lisa's promise to give everyone a say. She could not let them in. This Kalyana elder's intention seems at odd with all we know of her tribe. What do you think, Rizlan? Well, I don't think the enthralled can be trusted. Aye, it is said that once a creature has fallen under the sway of a primal, there is no salvation. And I strongly doubt the Kalyana have suddenly broken free of Lakshmi's will. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. And we rely on the scions. I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alamegan quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, Rizlan. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. Back? All the way back. For frick's sake. Music is a little less bombastic now. Destination. Rislin, I've brought reinforcements. Arenvald told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests. I agree that it would be prudent to call upon Y'shtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. I am not familiar with the Kalyana tribe myself, but Elisei's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races. Despised it, in fact, even compared to the other Ananta. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy. And I imagine Lys was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, it would seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Y'shtola and I can stand guard outside, stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We should join General Alden inside then. Rislin, do you know of the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. Yes, it is raining. It is raining. I feel like this is building up to something. This is definitely building up to something. Leave external security test, Rislin. I scouted around the palace quite extensively while I was searching for Kryl, so I know the lay of the land. As fortune would have it, I was visiting Ralger's Reach to look in on Alisei. She sends her regrets. The entrance to the palace is just up these steps. The guards should wave us through. Alright, let's go. You're with the science, miss. General Alden left orders that you were to be escorted inside. You'll follow me. Possibly a snack fight. Possibly.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lys Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Yeah, Hext is her last name. I'm sure they said it before.
Expertly done. Lys has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game, and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ravenford. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kaliana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Gia Abania devote themselves to our faith. You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of Bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
What? There were crystals in the water? Well, this is not gonna end well.
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Me and Arenvald. Oh noes.
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
Oh, it's on now. He's got his carbuncle out.
No, you don't!
The Kaliana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvald to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
Alright, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick. Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Here we go. How do we fight her without leaving our allies wide open? Can't stay on the back foot forever. No, damn it. I think like we've already lost. But if I think like that, we've already lost. Okay, enunciate. I have the Warrior of Light at my side. We could do this. Isn't that right, Rislin? Oh yes, use of duty action deflect to dissipate the ether spheres. Lakshmi releases during the battle. Be warned that allowing an ally to be enthralled by an ether sphere will result in failure. Alright, we'll do normal. I don't need ether. We'll try on normal. Alright, let's do it. Oh, accept my love, worship my life. Nice. Oh boy. Oh no. Come on. Whew. so many of them. Arenvald, you got it.
I offer you peace and serenity.
Why are you not moving? Oh man, he is getting his ass beat. Oh my god, it's so funny. Oh no. I messed up.
I shall free you from your hate.
A lot of them. Oh shit! Did we do it?
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
Gordola.
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
All right, let's do this. All right, so I can't heal her, but that's all right. Why you come over here? Uh-oh. Where'd she go? Oh no! I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Alright, so they're alright, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But why are Lise and Raubon here? They're gonna get turned. Can't move. Oh no, after time ruler. Shit. Alright. Did I escape? There we go. Oh god, there's so many of them. Whew. Now you two get out of here, seriously.
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
There's no free place. Oh, shit. This might be it for me. Oh, that's not good. I should have just went in that bubble. I didn't see it. No, what are you doing? Get away! Damn it, Raoban! You're as bad as a person as a freaking bugger. Freaking ran right to me. Uh-oh. And I'm gonna get... Oh. That's alright. Is he a sprout? Yeah, he kind of is. God, she's going again. I'm trying! I can only go so fast. How do I...
Here it comes!
Oh, he's doing it. I'm like, I am not, like, doing any damage to her. Oh, thank goodness. Alright.
We did it! We beat her!
Uh-oh. There's been a lot of echo in this patch. A lot of echoing.
What is this? I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
Seven hells! It's her! The Butcher!
It's just like one echo after another.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven. Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
That was unlike any battle I've ever seen. I'm not entirely sure how I survived it, to be honest. One wrong step and I would have lost my will to that fiend for the rest of my days. 'Tis a sobering thought. Lisa's certainly living up to her own ideal. Not every commander would choose to enlist a former enemy's aid in battle. I think I shall make a habit of checking for primal influence before our meetings from now on. We encountered our fair share of enthralled outside the palace. Enough to delay us from lending you a timely hand, I'm afraid. Oh. Well fought, Rislin, Arenvald. That was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Kalyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... Rats! My fault. Stupid mistake. Nay, lass. We were caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson, and watch our own more carefully in future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldier who first spoke up in favor of the Kalyana keeping their weapons springs to mind. The primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Ishtola. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola turned up. What was she even doing here? I asked her to come. No! You can't touch Ishtola's ears. She would probably bite you. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Dragonfriend was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She just wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordola grew up in is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. It's a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphino. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you're not interrupted, Rislin. Right, Rislin, you and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it. No, you are not going to pinch Y'shtola's cheeks, because if you do, she will probably bite your hand off. I'm just saying.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave.
Mm-hmm.
Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Raubon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
Raubon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
I know.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raubon. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Tear up a little bit. Aw, shooting star. Oh, I love their relationship, their friendship, and his loyalty and all that is just wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Arenvald is of an age with Fordola, both of them born Alamigan. He never wanted his Garlean blood, and the other tried to become Garlean but could never be. Similar yet opposite, which would go some way to explaining the tension between them. I went to see Fordola in her cell again. She did turn the tide of the battle after all, and I thought it only right to thank her. She wouldn't listen. She said she neither wanted nor needed my gratitude, and that I should go away. I don't know if I'll ever understand her.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise, but we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Uh-oh.
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Raubarn. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
He's totally gonna be on the House of Commons or whatever.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Oops.
Yes, the Bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Is he blushing?
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor. And you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raubarn.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised.
Mm-hmm. Who, me? What?
Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch.
Alphino, you're still
In any event, one thing is certain. Alamigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
Yay! And no! How would that even work? Okay, how would that... He would... No, I'm not even thinking about that. No. Raubarn is the veteran of 100 battlefields. These couldn't ask for a more reliable ally to have at her side. I must assume Father's responsibilities without delay, lest our rivals, both inside and outside of Ul'dah, treat his dismissal as a window of opportunity. Rest assured, they will find Tizona's edge just as sharp in my hands. I have asked enough of you, Ruslan. My only words for you now are those of gratitude. No, not you. Come on, I want to try. It seems my road has come full circle. I appreciate the support you showed for my earlier decision, overruled though it was. Lys must be overjoyed to know that General Alden is staying, though I suppose I shouldn't call him General anymore. I think it's about time I headed back to Rhalgr's Reach. What's next for all of you? LSA will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you, if you've no objections. I'd welcome the company. Ruslan, why don't you come along to the Reach as well, once you've said your farewells to Nanamo and the others? Upon completion of this quest, you will be able to access the palace's rooftop gardens by speaking to the royal menagerie attendant. Oh, okay. Well then. I guess for taking pictures. No. See, Rauban is... He has an affection for the Lalafell, but not that kind of affection, okay? Oh my gosh. Well, here we are again. Alphino has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It seemed I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Thancred and Y'shtola when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. As others have said, we were lucky to have our Echo-blessed champions nearby this time. We'll need to keep a closer eye on the Kalyana. You can say that again. This whole episode has reminded me just how far apart our kind still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day. But someone has to make an effort at reconciliation of these conflicts, if these conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the broodmother's doing, and whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vera and M tribes first. I plan to have Resistance scouts keep track of the Kalyana's movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the Resistance army out of interest? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What? The Bull of Alamigo? We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller, independent groups. And when Conrad passed his command to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Ralger's Reach. He just happened to be serving as the Resistance spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray. That time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Rauban as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together. We stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is in all respects the ideal choice, assuming he accepts the post. Alamigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Alamigo blooms. Come on, meanwhile and Garly, call them all. Come on, let's see it. No, damn it. No more, I want no meanwhile. I do give thanks to the Kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But their generosity ended. Without coins in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look like so much Jetson. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. dango are delicious. Will you have one? More sweetbreads. I surrendered my blade to secure what few coins we have. What is going on? Ah, this is like talking to a child. Why fate saddled me with this burden, I shall never know. But I am alive, and I must return to my master's side. Come, Tsuyu. We shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. It's so weird seeing her like this. Okay. Yes! Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Have you read the reports? First Doma, then Alamigo, and Lord Xenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I heard the Viceroy was merely wounded, and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boasted loudly of taking his head regardless. Hey, Lord Xenos lives? Deplorable. That our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and above all accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains then. We shall soon put the lie to their claims. What? Who's that?